Our top story this Monday, the White House and Congress face a deadline this week to reach a deal on a budget to avoid a partial government shutdown. On Sunday, the White House doubled down on its insistence that Congress provide $5 billion for a wall along the Mexican border. Meanwhile, Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer said President Trump is not going to get the wall in any form because there are not enough votes for it in the House or the Senate. Wyoming Senator John Barrasso appeared on CBS Face the Nation Sunday morning and shared his thoughts.
We, through the appropriations process, already have approved 75% of the funding for the government for the next year. But I still think it's better to not have any sort of even a partial shutdown, whether it's over Christmas or any time. I don't think people benefit by that.
In past shutdowns, up to a third of national parks have closed and turned people away. MTN's John Shearer reports from Yellowstone National Park and says this time could be a little different.
Well, Yellowstone Park has barely opened for its winter season and already it's facing a possible shutdown. Maybe. It turns out that the rules for whether the park closes or stays open have changed a lot this time around. For starters, this gate at the north entrance will stay open no matter what. It's the only way for residents of Silvergate and Cook City to get in and out. The National Park Service isn't talking about a shutdown, saying only that it won't speculate on government activity and that all parks are open for business as usual. Tourism businesses we attempted to speak to in West Yellowstone also declined to speak about a possible shutdown. Xanterra, the company that operates hotels, restaurants, and other services in the park, told us it is optimistic, but is prepared in case of a shutdown. There is a long and complex set of rules for parks at the Department of Interior website. That document mostly leaves hard calls about keeping parks open to local superintendents. In Yellowstone's case, that's brand new Superintendent Cam Sholey. The document says if there is a government shutdown, then parks will notify the public that all visitor services, including restrooms, trash collection, facilities, and road maintenance, will cease. Park staff will have 4 hours to wrap up their work and go on furlough. There are only a few exceptions based on public safety and law enforcement. Park roads, lookouts, trails, and the like will remain accessible so long as it is safe to do. But any facility that generally closes at night will close for the duration of the shutdown. This winter, the Mammoth Hotel is closed for refurbishing, but the Snow Lodge at Old Faithful is open. People have reservations, and it would seem there's a lot of business to lose during the holidays. The Interior Department says concessionaires like Xanterra can continue to operate, at least in the short term, so long as it does not require regulatory oversight from the Park Service. Now, even if there is a shutdown, Yellowstone will never just be abandoned. There will always be some people working here. The Park Service says that in the Intermountain region, and Yellowstone is part of that region, there will be 777 Park Service employees on the job even during a shutdown. In Yellowstone National Park, I'm John Shearer for MTN News.
The Interior Department instructions say the Park Service should not shut down any areas unless there is imminent threat to human life, safety, or health, or unless there is an imminent threat to sensitive natural or cultural resources. Also in this morning's headlines, the father of a 7-year-old girl from Guatemala who died in U.S. custody signed a form saying his daughter was in good health shortly before she died. Just what happened in the hours before Jacqueline Call died in the soaring temperatures near the border remains under investigation. An autopsy has been scheduled to determine the cause of death. It could be weeks before the results are made public. And Miss Philippines, Catriona Gray, won the Miss Universe 2018 pageant held in Bangkok, Thailand. Gray, who is 24, was born in Australia and went to college to study music in Boston. She's a television host and model. Gray beat out Miss Venezuela and Miss South Africa for the crown. Back here in Billings, we expect to learn more about downtown's One Big Sky project later today. The project's final plans will be unveiled during tonight's City Council meeting. Back in October, the developer Bob Dunn, president of Wisconsin-based Hammes Company, presented an analysis during a council work session and said Billings has proven itself as an established destination and profitable area. In his presentation, Dunn showed three main points of the development moving forward: building a destination, diversifying operations, and leveraging the Montana experience. Also during tonight's meeting, the council is set to make a decision on whether to allow the Alberta Bear Theater to proceed with its plans for an expanded plaza or to leave it as is. The expansion would take away some downtown parking on 3rd Avenue North. In other news, today is the final day to make sure area homeless children have a gift to open on Christmas. The collection for Operation Billings Child ends today. The Billings Kiwanis helped start the project in 2013, and several businesses are helping with the club's mission. The drop-off locations for donations are this House of Books and Rocky Mountain Bank branches downtown and on the West End. About 250 children attending classes in School District 2 are homeless.
When someone hands us a beautifully wrapped gift, there's just this uniqueness about it that makes you feel special. And that's the connection we want that child to have and to feel. We deliver the gifts to School District 2, and then educators give the gifts to the children, just to strengthen that bond of the child with school.
And in one last story before we take a break, a Crow couple is taking care of 4 children after their mother was taken to the hospital following a car accident. The crash was on Highway 87 between Lodge Grass and Crow Agency 3 weeks ago. The children's clothes were covered with broken glass and no longer wearable. Q2's David J. spoke with the family during a recent shopping trip to buy new clothes for the children.
Albert Grovon takes his nieces and nephews shopping for clothes.
They call Becky Auntie Mom, and they call me Uncle Dad.
Grovon and his wife added to their family as the legal guardians of his sister-in-law's children. 3 of the children, along with their mother, survived a rollover crash.
I seen my mom laying down on the road, and I seen that she wasn't breathing. And so that's what I did. Got my hands together and started hitting her chest.
And she must have thought she was doing CPR, and then Mom kind of gasped for air, and not only did she save her life, but looking out for her 2 siblings.
The children also took care of each other.
Jade Lynn is the younger girl. She told the older sister, you know, let's buckle ourselves in. Then it wasn't too much longer thereafter they got into the accident.
So I seen that we were upside down, and I had to crawl out light of my seatbelt. I had to look around the car to find little brother where he was.
All 3 children came out of the crash with no injuries, and their mother is expected to fully recover. For now, they are part of Albert's family.
They do an amazing job of taking care of each other.
Nice that they're taking care of us.
David J., MTN News, Billings.
And the couple tells David that co-workers help pay for the clothes and others have also contributed.